All right, so in lesson 3 of section 5, we focus more on the proper etiquette of sending an email. So again, an email is an electronic message sent over computer networks. Lots of benefits to email. It's simple to use. It's free nowadays, unless there are some programs, some more specifically developed programs that might have a fee. Message is instantly sent, but sometimes they can't. Aren't very secure. Like, for instance, I actually just heard recently that the First Lady, Michelle Obama, had her email hacked recently. So again, you got to be aware of those hackers. Basically, the rule of thumb is don't send anything really private or information you don't want the rest of the world to possibly find out. Another backfall about email is maybe that person doesn't check it very frequently, so they don't see it right away. And so if it's something urgent, you might want to pick up the old telephone and give them a call. Basically, there's 3 parts to an email address. So we already talked about usernames and how they need to be very professional. So the username is the very first part of our email address, and it's to the left of the @ sign. So anything to the left of the @ sign, that's our username. Then the second part is the actual @ symbol. And the third part is the domain name. So gmail.com is what we're using in this lesson. So basically what that email address tells me is your username, alanfair12, and then I'm at, or I'm with, the domain of Google, otherwise gmail.com. So then you have your full email address, alanfair12@gmail.com, or whatever professional email you came up with yourself. And next, let's talk address fields. So in the to address field, obviously that's going to be, you're going to list the people who you want to send the email to, or who you would like to have receive the email. And usually, like this says here, and respond or take action in some way. Sometimes you have like an action required type of message, other times you don't. The CC address field, or it's known as carbon copy, is the addresses of people who should be kept informed. So these email addresses don't need to be kept private from other recipients. So a lot of times, maybe if you're working on a group project with several other students and you want to make sure your instructor's always involved in your conversation so that they just know what's going on, and you would send a message to all your group mates, but then maybe you would CC or carbon copy the instructor just so that they know you want them to be involved on what's going on, or just kept informed, I guess. Then there's the BCC field, which is blind carbon copy. So this is where you would put addresses of people who should be kept informed, but maybe you don't want their email address to be shown. And so the blind carbon copy keeps all of the emails from being displayed. So a lot of times you use this if you're sending out to a large group of people that don't know each other, or for whatever reason, but you don't want to share all those people's email addresses with everybody else on the email list. So that's when you would put them all in the blind carbon copy so that they can't see each other's email addresses. Okay, then we have a subject line. So the subject line tells the reader what the email is about. It should be short and sweet. You don't want to write an entire question in the subject line, or you don't want to be like, hey, LOL, what's up? Keep it, again, we're aiming for professional, and so just short and sweet, and kind of like a short summary of what the message is going to include. So like in this image shows the upcoming schedule. So obviously the message is going to be something regarding the upcoming schedule. And what you put in your subject line is really actually very important, because when you get in the business world, depending on your occupation, but lots of occupations these days get lots and lots of emails. So depending on your subject line, someone could totally overlook your email, maybe think it's not important, or just kind of disregard it. So that's why it's very important to have a good, professional, but also understandable subject line. Alright, so then we have our address field completed, we have our subject line filled out. Now we work on our actual message. So a professional email should always have a greeting, which welcomes the reader to the message. Hello, how are you? I hope you've had a great day. How was your vacation? Whatever. Some sort of greeting. So a professional email should always include some sort of greeting. And then the message is the main part of the email. This is the information you are actually wanting to share with that person. Sometimes has action required, so maybe you're looking for input or some type of feedback from that person. Not all of them do, but sometimes they do. And so we should have a greeting, a message, and then a closing. So this ends the email. It includes your name. If it's a professional email, it should also have a closing. Could be something like sincerely or thank you or I look forward to hearing back from you, anything like that. All right, so let's now go back into your Gmail account. So hopefully you're still signed in, maybe from the last video. If not, go ahead and sign into your Gmail account really quick. And we're going to compose a new message. And Gmail just recently kind of changed their format. So what you see in your text, if you're reading your text along with this, probably won't look quite the same. So this is kind of their new format. They have a new message window that just pops up over here. But again, we have the same type of thing. We have our to field. You could add in your carbon copy or your blind carbon copy fields here. But again, this is where you would put in the address of the person you're sending the message. So hopefully all of you are sending your message to me. So there's my email address that you should all be sending your message to. And then your text, let's see what they have. I'm not sure if your text has you putting in a specific subject line or not. Okay, so for this message, I'm just going to have you write practice email. Then you can write me a little note letting me know that this is, well, because we're keeping it professional, let's say no exclamation marks. And just let me know that this is your practice email to me. So let's say, hi Mrs. Lamphere, this is my practice email for section 5, lesson 3 of marketing 2. Please respond. Thanks. Sincerely, Abby. Okay, so you can write something like that. You can be more creative if you want, just so you get the feel of writing an email. And then you could hit send. You can add some options to your email. You can mess with the fonts, the text size, the color, but keeping it professional, you probably just want to leave it the way it is. And you could also attach files. So just like in Kmail or the Dropbox, you can attach different files by hitting the attachment button. And it looks like there's some new options down here too, where you can insert emoticons, add a picture, insert a link. So lots of different things, but you can just keep it short and sweet and simple just to send and practice sending an email. So then if I refresh, I see that, oh look, I sent myself an email, and I can select that to open it. And then so send me a practice email just like this, nice and simple. This will replace the one your text has you do, but you do still have to do the assignment for 5S. So your 5S assignment is having you do look up some career websites and then sending me a professional email telling me about those career websites. So you still have to do that one, but this will be the replacement from the practice email they have you send in your text. So that is it. Get me a short and sweet practice email and I will reply back to you. You can go ahead and send it to this alamphere12@gmail.com. That would be great.